What's up, guys? How you guys doing? My name is Vuyani, and today we are gonna do a director's breakdown of the movie To Ike. As things stand right now, the movie's on 6,000 views. 6,000 people decided to watch the movie. So I decided that, with that type of audience, let's do a director's breakdown. And so this is going to be a breakdown / commentary of the film, and I'm going to take you through a journey about how I made this and what inspired it, etc., etc. So I am hoping we both learned something. Well, you learned something about me and my process of making this movie. I used to get questions when I take this movie on the road, on the circuit, film circuit, and so on. That what brought it about, etc., etc. I can honestly say To Ike was started off a single image or a scene that I saw, and I just wanted to explore how to turn that into a South African version of this. So that single image was from, and that's why I'm wearing the shirt. I used to be a huge Tarantino fan back in the day, after film school. So this is me after film school. And if you go to my screen, there's an image of the assassin, the origin story of the assassin Orishin, who, in the movie Kill Bill, they touch upon her origin story. And she was a girl who had a normal life, and one day her parents got assassinated by the Yakuza. And Tarantino played the scene out in animation styles, the only animation in the movie. So the single image that struck me were the sequence of Orishin watching her house being burned down. That stuck to me, this little girl having, blood on her face and just watching this house burning down, and the order of the day was revenge. So then I was like, I'd like to make the South African version of this. So how do we turn this into the South African version? So first, let's look at my director's treatment. It's not going to be the most in detail treatment. I mean, it is a short film, but I had a treatment that I did because I was over prepared. To Ike. So automatically I have the femme fatale character that I wanted my character to Slindy to portray. So she's always smoking, always mysterious eyes, and so I drew a lot of inspiration from that. So at the ages of 17 to 18, where she's alone and introvert, where we meet her in the story. So I think she's even 16 or 15 later on as the movie as we made it. So I just listed the things that she's going through. She's a loner, she's an introvert, going through some internal conflict, wants to find justice in her own way. She's very seductive. She went rogue, After experiencing betrayal and violation from her uncle, she does not trust the opposite sex at all. She is willing to use her body as means to get close to the opposite sex as possible to kill if necessary.
Nou, not a cookie for an Ike.
Why pizza Ike?
Because you look like an Ike.
And how does an Ike look like?
Well, does it matter?
So this was a bit of background that I wanted to portray, that I wanted to give my actress, whoever would play the character at the time. Then Slindy, before getting, she's innocent, optimistic, and even the dress shows all of these things. So it's vibrant, shy. I'm very big on costume, saying what the character's all about. So then, yeah, the opposite as opposed to, maybe I should have even played it like black and white, but I feel like it even has like, when we meet Slindy, it's almost noir-like as to opposed to when she's there. And I think we did capture the local feel of the noir femme fatale later on aesthetic that we see over here. So Phil is charismatic, charming, respected, family man. So who's Phil? Phil is the character played by who we never learn his name in the story because she's always calling him Ike.
O shatjwe ke moya ko taveneng wena o itse bophelo wena skima le nna sona tla o bontsha re bophelo ke
Joan, Ike.
ha tla bona wena bona a go bontsha re bophelo ke
And actually, just a side note, I actually wanted to make a spin-off after I made To Ike and I made Golden. I wanted to make the something Times of Phil or the Tales Entangled or something where I wanted to show what Phil, how he ended up in the club and how heartbroken he is with what he experienced in his house, being this old man. Why is this old man actually in the club with this young people, essentially? So I never got to make that spin-off, but it was a movie that was really, I wanted to like create a little universe. So anyway, he's charismatic, charming, respected, family man, old school, retired thug. I don't know what that means. He's a known cheater. So that was a little, and then I gave a bit of background as to born in the township, raised in the township, works above minimum wage, firm assistant manager, still living in the township, has no kids. You know, it's very nice to see how in detail I was with each character that played, you know, inside this movie. So all the way till Jimmy. So I'm just gonna fast track, but you can see that we were very, very much all the way till our Ike, you know, Phil and Ike are almost similar. So why is that Phil and Ike dress similar? Is because she is always attacking the same kind of person that she sees you and she identifies. And that's why even in the movie she says, I knew you were an Ike, you know, because she can see the type of person that her uncle Ike was, and she's trying to eliminate that factor from life. So, interesting. See, I used the word femme fatale, even though it's been 10 years ago, I remember. That is essentially was my treatment and research on this To Ike film. Let's get into the watch along of the movie. Sorry, let me see what else is in my file. Oh, so on the 8th of Jan, we then take out this poster. So what I just wanted to highlight was that, look, this image, this lone image of the feet, her walking, this girl walking in town, then later becomes the essence of the movie, and it becomes actually a poster. We grab a still almost like this that shows that this loner character, you get what I'm saying? FYI, that was the first logo for Art's Sake. I created that. I was so in love with magenta colors, still the colors of Art's Sake within our logo identity. But I really like that. And even in the cinema, the first time we heard it at Mabone. Anyway. Pisces Creatives. That was Tati's company. So I'm gonna pause right there. So this song, let me address. So they always, last I screened this, I was at Brazen Black. They always, people always ask, so did you get the song? Because essentially the song is from like KO's Dandara. And this was, it came out 2 years before that song. So I don't know, man. Original score was done by Louis Lange. So I guess he sold the beat, and which I don't hold him any against it or anything. But yeah, it always looks like we stole, but even though our movie came out 2 years prior to this, so. There's so much I can even say about this movie. One of my favorite scenes is about to come up. All right. So pause right there. She's bleeding. Already we hooking you in attention, and that was very intentional as to how we wrote the script. I used to study how to make short films. So hook your audience. They said, people don't care about your credits, long credits at a short film. You need to hook your audience quick. And my thing was quite simple. I'm just repeating a cycle of what her night looks like. So bleeding, or automatically your audience will think, what happened? Did she get violated, or is she on her periods? Or, so a lot of questions are asked from the get, and then, yeah. Ooh. Always one of my favorite parts of this movie is my, shall I say, first time working with like a great, like, well, it's no offense to any other actor, but I was still young here as well. But like a great actress who's just committed, because that was not scripted. I told her, just walk, go into the club. I'd like to see you walk, etc., all in one sequence. And she almost gets hit by a car and moves back. And the guy is like, he doesn't see the cameras. So he's like, with your small toes, we'll bump you and you'll die or poop yourself. It's funny, I got Soto, Sorokokasi. And she doesn't break stride. She's so in character. She doesn't hear cut or whatever. So she just continues, man. And it was so real. It was the take I used, I was like, we have to keep that authenticity. Shout out to my friend. This is Floyd. He's in silhouette. He was so committed. A lot of friends are in this club here. The red light. Earlier in my career, I really loved red light. And it symbolizes, there's symbology in that danger's coming, we're foreshadowing. So here's our Jimmy. And the whole thing around directing the scene, I just wanted Slindy to just search. Because here's a possible suitor for her who's her age, who's roundabout where she is in terms of age group and peers, but she's already locked into a target. And I wanted to show that in the blocking of, the actors, as that, she just wants whatever. Oh, I forgot to also mention in the beginning, in the first scene, her heels are bigger than her shoes. So it was by intention. I wanted the audience to see that she's trying to fit into shoes that that she can't fit into. So she's in a world that she's too small for. Jimmy unfortunately doesn't know the danger that he's in, This is Rams, man. Like, always a pleasure working with him. He's amazing as well. He made our dialogue that I wrote so effortless. He like just so shout out to the cinematographer Zamo. Did it so well, I'm just gonna fast forward. So yeah, fortunately, art department on Tadile got a nice retractable knife that would go in. I knew you and Ike. Becomes pretty violent here. I think what makes it violent is the long stay on the exterior, because what happens inside is like so, and then we go and she is just mauling him. You get what I'm saying? I did the flash frames while I was editing. I just found myself there for some reason, and I thought, let me color them red. It gave it a bit more violence and grotesqueness to, I always tell my students about the scene. This was, it wasn't in my treatment, but this is, I don't know why I didn't write it down there, but this was always how I wanted to shoot the scene. It's one of the few scenes in my life I've ever shot the way I wanted to shoot it. And it was a scene about the loss of innocence. So I wanted teddies. I remember telling the art director, Tati, that, I want teddy bears, na. And it's because essentially this scene is a scene that's told through the teddy's perspective of what happened to Slindy. And that's why we start with them on black and white. And they're introducing us to the scene and saying, this is what happened. And then we get to Slindy. You get what I'm saying? And we're finding her in a vulnerable position as well. Oops. He enters, foreshadowing that he doesn't kind of care about the vulnerability. Oh, man, can I tell you guys how I casted Isana? So Isana is playing our Ike. A year prior, or a few months prior, Matabo, we had just started being together and stuff, and she was taking me around TUT rostrums and saying, hey, watch this play, watch that play. And there I did see Idu, and I also saw Isana. I remember he was playing some African play, and there was something about his eyes that I was just like, this guy's eyes. When I did write to Ike, I was like, this guy's eyes could do like a lot of things. And for this movie, it did like magic. So his eyes tell the story. Like everything is in the eyes. There are the eyes. There they go. All right, so yeah, FYI about the scene at the end. While we were having the reading, we didn't have rehearsals, but we had a reading. And while we were reading the script, between Isana, I think it was Isana, who suggested, why doesn't Ike just linger there at the end, you know? And what a brilliant part of collaboration that was. And his call was early in the morning. It was the first scene, the rape scene that we did. And he stayed all the way till the evening, till late night, till we shot everything in the club and stuff. And his shot was the last shot. I don't know why we did that, but he stayed and suffered with us. And it makes the movie like so much better. And that's just collaboration between a writer, and even say director and actor, that like connects and makes, when everybody's invested, it goes to another level. So yeah, and these are the people I still work with till today. I always have gratitude for this movie. I'll always love it, because it gave me my career. Everybody that worked hard on this, like I could name everybody, even the sound man, Kruger did the sound, Otto, Kriya. Yeah, just everybody. Tati, Matabo, who was cooking, my dad, who stayed with us at the club, Dark Monster Productions gave us equipment at a discounted rate. Like, it was a labor of love that was great and started everything. And all the actors, Botepi, so who we then later also made Golden together. It was just, yeah, a great film. So that is my breakdown and director's commentary of To Ike. Thank you.